Evening, folks. I'm going to do a little bit of an update on my yard. Columbine are really going crazy this year. I'm really pleased with that. And the irises are just starting to bloom here. This flavor of the, I don't know their names. And the yellow one, more columbine. More bloomers over there. They're kind of pretty. I like that. I dump shop that, I don't know if you can see it against the sky. I dump shop that upside down. It's a chandelier, and I got it free at the dump. I took the wireworks out of it and made it a topper for my blue bottle tree. The sun's kind of hitting that wrong to get the full effect, but there it is. I kind of had fun with that, painted it up. And my lilacs are coming into bloom. Oh, Jacks now. Aren't they pretty? Focus, camera. There you go. And I brought all these little lilacs with us when we moved here almost 14 years ago as little whips. And look at them now. They're huge. Absolutely huge. I never thought I'd see this day. Never lived in a house this long before in the same house this long in my whole life. The longest I ever lived in one house was 7 years, so I've doubled that almost now. So that big bloom sticking up there is rhubarb blooms. I don't eat it. I give it away if anybody wants it. I just kind of grow it as ornamental. How pretty it is. It fills up a whole lot of space, and the weeds don't do real well underneath it. So, hey, I'm all for it. And all these plants that are here came with us, when we moved here in 2008. And this field has actually been, or this part of the yard, let me see if I can get over there, has been barren for a long time, but you can see all the daylilies in there. Anyway, this is almost totally filled in now. It was bare a couple years ago. I redid the whole thing. Okay, now my planters are doing pretty good after their remodel job. And I've got to get after those chives. They are really going to town. And let's see, what else? More columbine on the other side of the walkway. And pretty colors. I don't know if the camera will capture it or not. It's really windy here today, so look at that pretty pink, purpley, kind of a purpley pink. This is even more purpley pink. I don't know. I think they're meshing together. A lady gave me some blue and some purple, and I think they're crossbreeding, cross-pollinating. I don't know. Anyway, this tank is a little bit sparse, but it'll fill in long before I want it to. I want to get my little frog pond up, but this last week was the last, hopefully, week of possible freezing temperatures. So now I can flip it over and fill it up, set the pump up to run. Let's see what else is growing here. Here's the ajuga. It's doing pretty well. It's about spent. I like that. It makes a nice ground cover, and it'll fill in this flower bed. Uh-oh, I don't want that there. That's a baby elm tree. All those Hummingbird Columbine that I bought, I think this is the only one that survived. I think I bought 6 of them, and that's the only one that survived. So I'm happy to see that. I'm hoping now that it's set flowers that it'll set seed and spread. And more yellow iris. And these aren't open yet. I think they're more of what's on the other side, but that I showed you. And more tanks doing quite well, really. I spent half the day spraying. Oh, falling over on my walkway. I spent half the day spraying off my driveway I don't know if you can see all of it. Doesn't, you can see just the edge of the compost pile, the chip pile, and all of that, all the way up there to the, well, where you can see it's no longer sprayed anymore, past the propane tank. And here in the front, looks like I'm making some of them sick. Not much is going on out front yet, though. And after all that spraying, I got almost done. And I don't know what you call it. They call it a collar in the book, came loose on my sprayer. And for crying out loud, it's a brand new sprayer to me, so I didn't know how to work it. I had to tear the whole thing apart. It took me over an hour to tear the thing apart, slip that seal back on in the right place, and greased it back up with some Vaseline. And it's back in business again, so that's good. Poor design, I think, to have it have to take the whole pump and everything out is ridiculous. Anyway, here's some, well, see if I can get it to hold still. The wind is really whipping here. Bush honeysuckle, and they're kind of pretty. They come out kind of a yellowy color like here, and then they turn pink. I don't know. They're pretty. More lilacs over there. I just got the lawn mowed. Literally, I just got off the mower. Key's still in my pocket, and I'm kind of trying to be done for the day. I'm tired. I've been up since 5:30, or awake since 5:30. I laid there for a half hour and tried to pretend that it wasn't time to get up. I wanted to get out early to spray because the wind has just been ridiculous here. See it blowing the plum tree around, and this is as bad as it's been. Anyway, that's about it for now. I'll add some more on tomorrow when I do the other side. I'm too tired to deal with it tonight, so catch you later. Hi guys, I started a video the other day and I never processed it, so I'm going to add this to it. It's been maybe 10 days ago. And from that video to this video, there's been major changes in my yard with the flowers in bloom. I'm hoping to get this done. I did this last winter. I don't know. I was just being goofy. I'm using it to hold up my railing that I put up because I've fallen down that slope so many times. It's annoying. Not to mention it hurts me sometimes. Look at the columbine now. They are just going berserk. The irises are blooming big. I don't know if columbine cross-pollinates, but I never planted this color. And look how pretty that is. It's just kind of a lilac-y or very light purple. And now come around, kind of try to keep them get you sick. That's a weed. Oh, God. Imagine that. Now, I know that these were supposed to be blue, and when I picked them, they were blue at the motor vehicle place down in Weiser, and they said, yeah, go ahead and take the seed. And I'm glad I did, because the next year, they ripped out that whole flower bed of gorgeous blue columbine, so I'm glad I have some. I have a few over in that dark corner, and let's see, there's more. Look at that. Oh, I love this. And if I sound like I'm stuffed up with a cold, it's not. I'm just, I think it's the lilacs that do this to me. I absolutely love them, but boy, they plug me up big time. Yeah, they're so pretty though. I'm so proud of my big girls. Look at them, they've gone clear over to the house. I'm gonna have to turn that back because it's starting to block that excuse me, east window, and that's my bathroom window that I have all my Hoyas and stuff in, and I like that light. I'm going to make a bunch of noise right here, get this gate open, and take you into the dog yard and go through that way. Oh, look at that. There's a white columbine. I love this plant. And in the other first part of this video, oh, my clematis is going down. I need to get her going up on that trellis. Well, I'm not sure how you're supposed to do that, but I'll deal with it. Look at those tall dandelions. Yeah, I need to get out here. I thought that this hummingbird, that other hummingbird columbine that I showed that was the only one that survived, but this one's doing good too. Yay! And this is, oh, there's some elm trees. I need to pull those. This is a grass that I had growing in my front yard. I don't know if it's friend or foe, but I like it. So I'm not pulling it out. I actually planted it from the front and finally got it to go. And there's a pretty hosta going. And I don't have very many hosta left in here. This bed used to be full of them. The columbine is kind of taken over where I had some tall purpley ones. Where did they go? Huh. Thought I saw them sticking up. Maybe it was these. Well, I don't know. I had a couple big hosta plants over here. And it looks like they're gone. I don't know. This country is kind of bad for growing stuff because it's zone 4. It's a solid zone 4 supposedly, but sometimes the weather, it just depends on what winter we have. And actually the milder winters are harder on the plants than the others. And some of you were worried or concerned about this ground cover not filling in from and look at it there now. There's just that one bare spot, and that's where the dogs go, or the dog. I only have one left now. And oops, my laundry's still hanging up. Sorry about that. More lilacs, and I had to put some 2,4-D on a elm tree that was trying to come up here, so I put a bed frame over it to keep the dog away from it. And because I need to kill it. Okay, honeysuckle bush. And these came, little starts of these came from a house that we had. And we bought it in 1998 after the flood. And the neighbor across the street and up one house had this growing all around his yard. And he pulled them all up. Or he cut them all back, and then a year or so later he pulled them all up, and then he let me have some, and I started them around my yard. And then we moved away from that house in December. I'm going to get into the front or the side yard now, and so I couldn't take any starts with me, so I left them. And then we lived at that other house a year and a half and moved to another house. We flipped houses, so that's why we moved around so much. And the lady at the house that we had sold or bought in 98 that had these bushes was tearing them out. And so I stopped by and asked her if I could have them. And she said, sure. So they ended up there. And now when we moved from there, I brought them here. So they've traveled with me. There's a Virginia blooming. They really are pretty. It's kind of a pain to pull the stalks after summertime, but these plants don't get very tall, but they sure get big. Big leaves. They kind of remind me of big philodendrons. And some of these that look really bad, those are the ones that were laying flat on the ground after winter time, and they just die off and just keep renewing. So my peony, one of my peonies, they're apparently quite late this year because usually by Memorial Day they're starting to bloom, and I think that's this weekend. Pretty sure. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Here's where that grass is. I transplanted some more columbine. They're kind of looking weepy. I need to lay out my hoses now. It's time. I've put it off as long as I could, but it's time. See, here's that grass. I don't know. I don't know what it is. And I don't know where it came from. I didn't plant it. So it's probably a weed. I don't know, though, because that's all the higher it gets. You got me. Anybody have any ideas? This kind of has a rough edge to it. I like it. There's just something about it I like. And I don't mind it being in the flower bed. And there's the ground cover. I don't know the name of it, but it kind of shifts around in the yard. Excuse me. And another peony coming along nicely. And these came from our last house too. We did move here in the summertime, so I was able to move some of them. And this clematis I planted here when we first moved here. It's doing quite well. I've cut it back several times, and I don't know, that's about it. More Virginia, another peony coming along, and my planters. And already I need to mow the lawn again, or getting close. These planters over here that I replanted this spring, they're doing pretty good. Those plants are just so dependable that I'm not changing them. And some ground cover in here. That kind of ucky looking spot had a big ugly weed in it that I had to pull out. And so that kind of damaged that, but it'll come back. It's fine. And those daylilies, and they like it there, so they're going to stay. That's good. I'm glad I found something that lives in those planters, and happily. I'm tired of spending money buying annuals that don't grow, or even perennials. I did put perennials in there to begin with. There is a peony. My neighbor gave me some starts of peonies. There's one right here. Excuse me. And I haven't sprayed in this yard. I need to do that. I hate to do it, but it's more weeds than I can pull by hand. It looks pretty crappy, and so that's got to be sprayed. My beast of a mower. Let me get out of there. My husband bought me that when he got sick and knew that I would have to be taking care of everything. So he bought that, and I'm going through the garden shed that he built out of satellite fins. It's kind of funny. We're both we're Sanford-y kind of people. See the... Oh, let me get back up. See the... Oh, Jesus, there's a wasp nest there. See the satellite fins? And I don't know. He originally built it to put it over the hot tub that we had at the other house. And we actually moved this thing, too. We just drag all this crap with us. So anyway, we're not moving again, or I'm not moving again. And he's in the dresser drawer, so he's not going anywhere. So, anyway, that's about it. My view out the side of the house, the hillside. Neighbor runs cows over there on that hill in the summertime. He farms the top flat edge. That's all flat up at the top, and it's really freaky to see the tractors and stuff coming right up to the edge when they're haying and baling. And it's like, oh, please don't come over the edge. So I need to do some damage control on this hollyhocks. I'm over them. I'm just over them. They are total garden thugs. They come up everywhere, and they make me mad. And so I'm gonna kill them. I've had it. So that's about it. I think I need to take my laundry in. We'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching. Bye now.